how does the ISA balance these two arguments in its work? One for, environmental protection, and another for, deep sea exploration for mining purposes?
First of all, I think I should probably stress that these are not contradictory objectives in any way. It's not a question of one or the other. In fact, balancing the interest in sustainable use against environmental protection is exactly the task of every regulator of pretty much every human activity, whether on land or offshore. Is something that we do every day in many, many different sectors. And that's no different for ISA. So in the case of ISA, how do we ensure that balance? Well, I think there's really three ways in which we address that. The first is by the existence of a very strong legal regime, that is the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, to which 168 states have signed up. And under the convention, the principle is that no activity is permitted unless it is authorized by the ISA under very strict environmental regulations. So that's a regime that applies to 54% of the global sea floor. Over 30 years, we've gradually opened up about 1% of that area for exploration. Currently, we have 30 exploration projects worldwide, which collectively have given us tremendous insight into the resource potential for deep sea minerals. The second way in which we do it is by very strict environmental regulations. So, for example, even during that exploration phase, contractors are required to carry out extensive environmental studies. Over the past 20 years, contractors have spent more than $2 billion on environmental studies. Furthermore, all data from these studies is collected and stored by ISA so that it can then be available to the entire global scientific community. Most of the exploration work that is taking place has absolutely no environmental impact, but anything that might have an impact on the environment, such as, for example, testing of mining equipment, is very much highly regulated through ISA. It requires environmental impact assessment, and it also requires a very strict permitting process to make sure, first, that the activity has no impact on the marine environment, and secondly, that to ensure that all the data from testing is handed over to ISA, so that helps us then to both inform future regulations and also influence the design of technology, so that the only technology that can be permitted in the end will be the most environmentally responsible technology. And then thirdly, ISA has a very important part of its mandate to promote and encourage marine scientific research more generally on the deep, beyond exploration. So that includes, for example, some of the large-scale global scientific projects that we have at the moment, such as a project we call the Sustainable Seabed Knowledge Initiative, which is a global initiative to introduce innovative techniques like environmental DNA techniques and sequencing artificial intelligence to things like deep sea taxonomy, so that we can solve some of the really big scientific problems and issues that have been identified.